Today we have a 2018 genre mixture of 3D platforming and violin hero that has received a mixed reception of 63% average on Metacritic and 59 positives on Steam, though it used to be a percent lower. Yet it was audience's favorite in 2017 Brazil game show, so I guess some people like it. Let's then take a dive to more artsy fare with Distortions. As the game's creative director there is Thiago Girello, who has before this mainly done art for advertisement projects and some small game called Invasion Survivor, and as the writer there's Ricardo de Brito, who has focused on marketing for such films as Alti Elect. No time for that now, everything's crumbling, gotta think fast! What? You can't even jump? Idiot! Run! No, wait, swim! No, bottom front, too bad, guess who drowned? You don't seem very well, you got that right! You probably need a moment after that, so... We good? Yeah, this opening of Utter Chaos is actually kind of genius. It summarizes the important themes, mechanics and locales. Kind of a more tolerable version of "You must be wondering how I got here" opening. After the reality getting thoroughly slapped, we hear a man asking a woman who is our unnamed player character referenced only as the girl to remember how things really happened, and then after one impressive or wide shot, a different masked man says the same. That and finding her violin and notes if she wants to get out of this place that exists and not at the same time. Then she wakes up and realizes she has amnesia, that pesky varmint again. What comes to visuals, they are not specifically flashy, and the model for the player character is, while detailed, a bit uncanny in how little it emotes. The vistas are impressive with big distances and surreal geometry. Though that geometry becomes a hindrance when combined with the game's janky jumps physics that is one of those. It takes a bit for a character to register the bottom prompt cases, not to mention jumping distance is hard to determine. Sometimes you don't even need jumping puzzles to get confused by the level design, which can get annoying when just dipping her toes into deeper body of water makes the girl give up on life, I guess. The cracks in partial open world structure can be seen as these areas where there's no clear indication if anything that can be done in them is necessary for progress, but I guess they offer lore at least? Well, let's then take a break from Discord courses in mechanics and let's see what the narrative has to offer. Calling it art house may be that exaggerating, more towards unconventional. So if our hapless protagonist wants to get out of the land of eternal sunshine, she must collect songs that also work as her pieces of memories to awaken the mysterious monster that is the key to it all. We get to know quite soon she got here by having an accident on the road. But it is more unclear how much the things he sees are coma-induced hallucinations, or if this place is an actual metaphysical dimension. Though the latter theory is supported by scattered diary entries from someone who has visited this place before, and possibly is still there somewhere. Not much else inhabits this world aside from these hostile shadow creatures that I'll get to in a bit, and this masked humanoid who says to be a mental construct of the girl's boyfriend. Amid learning songs that to her are reminders for important events in her life, similarly as tattoos are to some people, the two go through all the troubles in their relationship and how after the girl experienced a personal loss, she used music as a shield from facing the harsh reality and general human interactions. And this all is delivered competently enough.
I believe people should travel alone in order to learn what solitude is and to recognize the true value of a relationship. To feel the cold of the mountain in order to respect the warmth and comfort of having a roof over your head.
Sure, it's not Greece or anything, but themes the game presents are conveyed in this surrealism-induced atmospheric way that it achieves with good audio design. Well, it better have that because of being a game where playing an instrument is a core mechanic. But that mechanic showcases why the developers are better at writing dialogue than they are at writing code.
The tracks you find not only move the plot forwards, but also give magical abilities such as building bridges, shielding and making you silent, so you can avoid the before mentioned shadow figures, and these abilities come in regular use during numerous chase sequences. Too bad they don't always work as intended due to being janky and imprecise, like in this part where it's hard to determine the safe distance to cast this force lift, or to prevent these rocks from lethally brushing the girl. To be fair, there's leniency in violin stroking, as you don't have to play the tracks fully to create weaker versions of the powers in case you are in a hectic situation and need to act fast, but it was still tough to adjust buttons in comfortable enough positions. Even then, at one point I accidentally triggered a hidden command prompt which caused the game to softlock, forcing a restart.
Eventually these problems culminated in the final chase sequence where I ran out of skills and patience. Yeah, the reason I didn't mention voice actors like I usually do is because I didn't see the ending credits, and neither of the walkthrough videos I watched had them either. But even with all these problems, they kind of contribute to Distortions' accidental charm.
The game's uneasy yet serene atmosphere and its handling of relatable themes do most of the heavy lifting to raise it above average, but all its jank causes moments that are either frustrating or unintentionally hilarious. Cumbersome jumping, hard-to-use powers and jerky character animations kind of fit to the game's surreal atmosphere. It makes this a video game equivalent of those super unconventional artsy movies that are meant to enchant rather than entertain. As a software, it's partially built on sand, but just strolling through reality-bending vistas and pondering the philosophical questions the story presents about the role of art in shaping human connections can work as an effective mood piece, at least before jank yanks the mat underneath immersion. I guess it's worth a try if you've gotten tired of booting up Journey for the 20th time.
The developer team's next outing, a backpacking adventure role-playing game Albatross, is right around the corner, and from the little information I managed to gather, it seems to be focused more towards exploration. So maybe they get closer to achieving something genuinely good with that one. Especially if they don't try to cram in barely functioning action set pieces. And what comes to Distortions, it certainly has Kusoge-like attributes, but not anywhere near enough to get in my bottom 100 list. I wish I could play violin, but I suppose piano is nice too.